Hi guys, welcome to the Music B&B. I'm 315 and today we're going to be listening to an artist known as Nothing At All, which is actually Greg Barnett, who is a singer-songwriter. It is his other project. I recently did a review of Greg Barnett's album, the Flat White album, which you can go and check out. I'll link the first part of it above. It was in 3 parts. So the album is called Prescient. It was released in 2015. It was the first home studio effort of Greg Barnett. Greg Barnett also teamed up with Martin Hale, was also a writer, producer on this album, both born and raised in the UK, aged in their 60s, retired, and both living in Australia on the Gold Coast. Sounds very nice. It's absolutely freezing here. I bet it isn't there. They met for the first time in 2014. It isn't a real co-write. They wrote, performed, and recorded and produce their own songs separately in their own homes. But it says here, the spirit of the album comes from their similar music tastes and skills, their mutuality, supportive learning curves on their respective home studio setups, and the constant discussions and good-natured but ruthlessly honest analysis of each other's tracks. They agreed on the 50-50 co-writing credits under the disposable artist name of Nothing At All. So this isn't really a solo project per se. It is an effort with another artist, but combined together. Very interesting. So let's start listening through it. There's 12 tracks altogether. We're going to start with the first track. It's called The Cloud Ubervalence, I believe. The Cloud Ubervalence 1. Okay. Sounds almost electronic in its playing style here. It's a guitar. Quite a sort of sinister, definitely quite sinister track to open with. I love what's been done with that electric guitar, that distorted guitar. Feels almost like a keyboard playing. Like an 80s kind of synth. Maybe it is an 80s synth.
Misty view, muffled sound. Opting out is not allowed.
So this was written by Martin.
Stored away. We're all living in the cloud.
Very sort of 80s spoken word kind of vibe.
Greed and instant gratification.
So this is a lyrical synopsis created by Greg Barnett, a 2,000-word televised speech by Professor Katina Michael about the growth of technology that's tracking us all.
Let's try direct. Don't need no password to connect. Stop drowning in this digital void. Save our precious love from being destroyed.
Just screams like 80s kind of British vibe, especially this bit.
Second of the day. Follow friends who follow you.
Almost Bowie-esque in a way, or Bowie-esque, however you want to say it.
Addicted but can't turn away. Hate myself but have to play. Propaganda, disinformation.
So it says that Martin and Greg, when they made this independently, took very different musical ideas and approaches. Hence the reason for track 1 and track 12, revisiting the Cloud Ubervalence 3 times throughout the album.
Drift in your sky, give our romance, baby, one more try.
Say the vocals potentially could have done with a bit more reverb on it to kind of fit in with the sound behind it, and perhaps some of the low end cut out to give it that more bright pop to the male voice. Lovely solo. I like the artwork. I'm assuming the binary spells out Prescient.
Jack me in, then jack me off. Bits and bytes can ID you. Track your moves, track what we do. We're oh so smart and oh so clever. Our data's stored somewhere forever. Data gulags, no control.
It is Bowie.
In the cloud that has no soul.
Don't need no Bible or Quran. A Facebook rules the world we're from. Flip the switch, right the
I'd say in some ways it's
turn it
overtly
off,
British.
turn you on.
Almost in a satirical way. Kind of feels like it is poking and making fun at the way that we used to overpronounce our British voices in our singing in the 80s. Oh, I like this reverberated choir section. Funky. Chicka chicka. Okay, fun. This is called Nothing at All. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not called it. The album's called Nothing at All. Silly me. This is called The Coast. Wasn't showing up. Oh, very nice guitar. Okay. Oh, the mixing on that guitar. It's so warm. I love it. Just all encompassing in the ears. This is nice. So this was written, performed and produced by Greg. It's an instrumental about the Gold Coast laid-back vibe. I can feel it. I like the Foley sound effects of the birds by the sea. I wonder whether it was recorded in person or it's a sample. It's nice. Anyway. There are also music videos to these songs. If you do want to check them out, they are linked down below in the comments. What? Link down below in the description. Long day. Not really. Hasn't even been a long day. This is gorgeous. I love the synth, the slow attack on the synth there. That's nice. Almost like a horn instrument. Guitar just quietly laid back in the background there. Yeah, quite 80s in its synthesized style. Still creeping in. I think it's keeping that similar continuity throughout, which, you know, is good considering two people wrote this back and forth from different places. I'm hearing some kind of continuity in the 80s vibe, maybe late 70s vibe we could call it. Coming up next though is a song called Dilbum, could be pronouncing that wrong, and it's about the Middle East. Martin's first job was in the Middle East, which was a culture shock to him. Martin produced the next song, and Greg CODA. So that's coming up next. So I think we may get a change from the 80s kind of vibes we're getting. At the moment, at this point in the song, I'm not feeling Gold Coast as much as I was at the start. But I don't know, I'm feeling some kind of hopeful, empowering kind of vibes almost from this. But maybe this is what it feels like to be at the Gold Coast. but it's not laid back in its presentation to me here. Not that that's a bad thing. This track is very, very nice. One thing I will say though is that it feels a bit unusual to have such a long instrumental so early on in the project. Like that kind of thing maybe coming in track 4, track 5, I would feel. That's a nice break. It kind of feels like we've already hit the interlude, the interval in the performance before we've actually, you know, started. So it feels a bit unusual that in that place. Okay, so this is Dillman. I wonder if it'll keep on that 80s vibe a bit. Hey, this is cool. I wonder if Martin has all these instruments wherever he recorded.
On the beach.
Kind of instruments I want to have at home. I love messing around with unusual instruments instruments that are unfamiliar to me anyway.
Glowing hot, Dows are cruising cool. Touch the turquoise ocean, Dillman. Hey, open up your heart.
That 4 to the floor bass line, really keeping that drive going. Middle Eastern vibe. Oh, back to that hook.
Gerada Island Beauty, Pepsi Cola smile. Ride the Golden Falcon.
Do you like the laid back almost vocals to it? It's very relaxed in the way it comes across. Martin's vocals seem quite laid back currently. And this is just from 2 songs I've heard Martin on. In a way, I would kind of expect the vocals to be a bit more powerful in that, like, hey, 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 it's just like, anyway, almost shouting it. It feels like quite close to the mic and saying it quiet. Standing back and shouting it could have really added that energy. Within that solo. Okay, song's taking a strange turn. Almost different vibe, different instrument coming in there. I was enjoying that track all the way through. Feels like a strange cut off towards the end. A strange diversion down a different alleyway, perhaps. Dillman is a favourite so far. We like that. I did.
The colors starting.
This is called Colours Fade. It's written by Greg Barnett. It's about environmental decay. A topic I feel quite passionately about, so it's not a topic I dislike.
Stops us thinking what we're doing is doing nothing at all.
Nice message. Oh, actually, not a nice message, but nice delivery in the message.
Tells us what to do. We can't hear, we're turned into fools. There's something coming on, but our colors fade in the sun. We sing our children a lullaby, though other cries sound.
The bass synthesizer selections so far have been quite similar throughout, other than Dillman, which is good. It's keeping the flow alive in a project that could have easily been The Tale of Two Cities.
But much too slow for the fall. Nature tells us
And
what
there's
to
nothing stopping Greg Barnett's love of a 3/4 timing.
We can't hear, we are turned into fools. There's something coming
On the Flat White album, a lot of
colors
3/4 timing, a lot of waltzing going on. It's a lovely time signature. Ooh. I like what's going on with that guitar there. Almost a weird wobbly slide down. Not sure how that happened. Very cool. I like these whale effects as well we're getting. Woo! Which it comes into the environmental aspect. Our oceans being destroyed, and the whales almost crying out at the end. Own dogs too. A bit as a dog. Anyway, it feels like a cry out of the animals in desperation there. This is That Bloke Upstairs. It's by Martin. Martin did this one. Imagining the confusion of Alzheimer's. And this is Martin's imagination of what Alzheimer's would be like. I think it. So is that bloke upstairs not talking about God, potentially talking about the guy in your head?
I see you every day, don't know why. You smile a little smile, wave bye-bye. It's nice to see you, but who's that bloke upstairs? Wandering in the dark, I rest my eyes. Stumbling through the day, I hear the cries of people passing, but yeah, who's that bloke upstairs? And what's he doing here? Is he someone I once knew?
I think Martin does embody a bit of that Bowie spirit, even his lyrics.
Face again.
And the chorus.
Will I remember?
Looks like a Bowie chorus. Bit confused by these. Sound like African vocals, African tribe vocals. Could be wrong. If that's the point, then well done. You've shown me the confusion of Alzheimer's.
What's he doing here? Is he someone I once knew? If I see your face again, will I remember you? Drifting through the clouds, molten skies, orange turns to gold, a new sunrise, reaching out to me, that bloke upstairs.
Reaching out to me, that bloke upstairs. Maybe it's talking about God. Perhaps. Maybe I'm not getting the message here. Maybe the bloke upstairs isn't helping me with this one. A nice song. A nice song. Calm and relaxing Bowie spirit. This is called You and I. It was by Greg. And it's about healing the divisions in society and relationships. Gotta get healing them. Okay. Big full choir introduction. The pompousness of the choir, and then to come in with the horns.
Can't we meet in between? You know it's not
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
It's not always black and white. To be there at the end, you just have to care.
It might have been nice to have
It's time we both start
both singers on tracks
the fight.
together,
If we're rich or we're poor,
as this feels more like a split album. A lot of bands do these, like split EPs when they don't have enough money. They'll team up together, record 3 songs each on a split EP.
happened before.
Feels a bit like that, a split project.
Gonna happen some more. We run and run.
Harmonies are nice in this one from Greg. Very good.
You and I must choose, or we will lose. Me and you have so much to do, to become you and I. Things are happening fast.
They can't stay the same
Things are not going to last.
unless we can change.
Please hold me close, safe and tight. We both know what to do.
It's really good. In terms of production, I feel like just that little
We both know what's
hum
wrong.
in the voice just needs cutting in the EQs, just
Together we'll win.
to brighten up those vocals.
You know it's a sin.
Listen to a lot
Do nothing
of music,
in
a lot of males in music, and you'll notice that unless it's a really intimate track,
the pain.
most of their voice is cut.
There's so much to gain.
Give me a sign.
Let's start today.
Feel free to disagree with me.
And I must choose,
Good things from the past.
or we will lose.
All that we once had.
Me
We both have to
and
try.
you
See eye to
have so
eye to work out what
much
to
to
do.
do to become you and I.
Harmony work is really good. And the grandioseness of the instrumentation between sections has really appealed. Grandiosity, should I say, of the instrumental and choir sections. Ooh, a nice major resolve at the end there. Very nice. This is Paint by Numbers by Martin. This song is a childhood memory. I like this twinkles. Synthesized twinkles. Oh! Wasn't expecting saxophone solo. Very welcome.
We looked at you through loving eyes, faces into the fence. 3 was green and 7 red sunshine.
I'm gonna call this the Waltz album.
Stole through the canvas. Paint by numbers. Think through time.
I do feel Martin has more of the maybe edgy rock sound. The more distorted guitars, whereas I think Greg tends to more of a crunch or just pure acoustic. So cool. So cool. Love that sound.
The music moved our minds at will spinning.
Turning down my heater.
Lost within the feeling.
It's getting a bit warm.
Lights up north just holding hands for those precious stolen seconds. Paint by numbers. Think through time. Love before life leaves you. Buttons and bows. Chalk on the grass always. Always, always in my heart. Always in my dreams.
Yeah, I think if these two do a project together again in the future, I'd love to hear what they'd sound like melded together. I think they'd create some very interesting music if they could do that. Perhaps it could be that if you're doing it, sending it to each other over the internet, perhaps you could have a challenge. One of you sends one stem, the other one adds the next instrument, the other one adds the next one. Someone does the lyrics, someone harmonizes on the lyrics. Build it that way. It'd be an interesting way to create.
Love before life leaves you. Buttons and bows. Chalk on the grass always. Always, always.
Now I've heard how good this saxophone is, I feel like this album needs more throughout the whole thing, because it sounds beautiful. Other than Dillman, you don't need a saxophone on that one. Amazing, amazing. Someone tell Martin if he wants to feature on a project I'm working on, play some saxophone for me. I would really appreciate it. This is called Running from Red. It's by Martin, with Greg adding sound effects to the track. Martin's parents experienced Russian territorial aggression in Eastern Europe after World War II. This is what this is about.
Stealing food from the fields, flashes in the sky, running from red. Can you tell me why my family is torn apart? There's terror in the air, running from red.
Sounds almost, I don't know, American country, a dark American country song, and it's in the way it's coming across, that running from red.
We'll meet at Waterloo 20 years from now, when we laugh and cry together. We will remember how.
Like the bongos in the background, conga drums, whatever they are. Adds a little sort of pulse and drive to it. The song itself at the moment feels like an 80s nighttime car driving song. Not really, doesn't really fit with the lyrics, which is interesting. I almost feel like there needs to be a different sound for that topic, but I couldn't say what the sound would need to be.
How we lost all that we had, but brother, you and I know you gotta keep your head when you're running from red, running from red, running from red, running from red.
Quite a lot of sound effects going on there, Greg. Definitely becoming more hectic towards the end. Oh, if anything, I would have loved it to get so hectic that it absolutely drowns out the music and just becomes this cacophony of horribleness. Okay, so this is the Cloud Übervalence 2. So we're revisiting the same sounds. This is an instrumental outtake from part 1. Like in the organ. That riff with the guitars is so cool. I could listen to that all day. It feels like technological. I like this. This feels like a good fit for an instrumental outtake type thing, just as a nice break from the lyrics and the sounds that the people had been making. Okay, so this is Martin's first ever song. It's called Scent of Summer. And it's Martin with Greg on the coda.
Golden sunset shivering, first time colorblind, always falling. Scent of summer.
This is quite Beatles-esque.
Running riot through dreams, second nature, so it seems, always falling. Scent of summer. You always made us two. You never let it fail. Now destiny is blowing. Scent of summer.
So this song seems to be in the realm of Greg, actually, and this is a song where I feel your two worlds meet closer than anything else so far.
Destiny is blowing. Scent of summer. Fear hiding under clouds. Safe haven never found. Drop your anchor. Scent of summer. Always falling. Scent of summer.
Very gorgeous. Very gorgeous. Oh. This must be Greg's coda. This is the second time in the album that Greg has done the ending for the song. The other one being Dillman, which I felt wasn't as fitting of an ending as this is. Beautiful ending. Very nice. Gorgeous piano there. So this is called Another Year. It's when Greg wrote this song on his birthday, 63rd birthday.
Another year gone. Look back and wonder, where's it all gone?
I feel that, and I'm only 31.
Much to do in so little time to make me a mark and make it mine. Put down that credit card. Get out of that car. Breathe in a sweet breeze. And find who you are.
You really feel like Greg's footing getting a hold, ready for the Flat White album. That big 30-track epic.
Time's on your shoulder, and time's gonna win.
An interesting solo. These sort of attack on these solos, very interesting.
Than what's gone before. There's no use crying. There ain't no more. So love your love and friends and your family. 'Cause you'll soon be the dead wood in the family tree.
Did enjoy the lyrics in this one. I really like songs that do with the passage of time and how much you've got left and legacy and everything to do with that. Always a great topic to cover for me. Oh, like the clock sound effect at the end. That's a nice touch. This is our final song. It's called The Cloud Ubervalence 3. Oh, some sinister bass in the background there. Okay. This is an instrumental in 3 sections, placed last on the album due to the dramatic power-off ending. Okay. I'm gonna do some good listening. Try and do some good listening now.
Misty view, misty view, misty view. Chipped and tagged, chipped and tagged, chipped and tagged, chipped and tagged. In the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud, in the cloud.
So these vocals were provided by Professor Katina Michael about the growth of technology, and she recorded new words for both Greg and Martin and sent them the file. They'd never met her before in person.
Stored somewhere forever, stored somewhere forever, stored somewhere in the cloud that has in the cloud has in the soul, in the soul. strove for freedom, once held the prize. Look in the mirror, look in your eyes. If love still beats within you all, embrace, look up, be human once again.
Feels almost War of the Worldsy, if you remember the sort of the soundtrack with acting on it. It was very good. That was very good. It just had that kind of vibe for some reason. We're building. What we're building to. It's quite a positive sounding thing, actually. The almost playground sounds, or children playing at least. Like a hopeful future kind of tone. Is this the power off thing? When we switch off, we enjoy life. I like it. Very promising. Gorgeous little violin there underneath, sending that hope through. Kind of quite Queen-esque solos. Okay. So I guess that's what was meant by the huge power off moment in that last track there, because there was a real big power off. Anyway, let's get to reviewing this album. I've been thinking quite hard about some of these for my judgments. They've been quite difficult to make on some aspects. Let's go over the flow. First of all, the flow of the album, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. I thought on the whole, the flow was very nice. It seemed to have this consistent kind of almost 80s synthesized sound throughout, which was grounding two different artists to one sound. Now that doesn't mean that was the way throughout. There were some like sore thumbs that stuck out, but in a good way, like Dillman. It was an absolute highlight for me. It was fun, energetic, had that 4 to the floor vibe. It was really good. And there were times where the flow kind of was taken away from me, such as On the Coast, which is a very early instrumental, and on the end of Dillman, which was just a bit of an unusual ending as well. But other than that, it did flow together very, very nicely. Lyrics. The lyrics in this album, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. I thought the topics that were covered were very, very good, and on the whole, the lyrics stood out to me. Different topics, unique topics, not the same go-to topics that everybody else talks about. I mean, there's one about turning 63, isn't there? You know, so, and one about working in the Middle East. So you've got a whole range of topics that are being covered, not your normal go-to pop style, rap style, whatever go-to topics are. So very, very good. The only times I felt where the lyrics didn't really match maybe what was going on in the song was Running From Red. I thought Running From Red had some very carried a lot of emotional weight in the lyrics, which was kind of stricken off by the sound. It was like two different worlds colliding together, and it wasn't quite doing it for me on Running From Red. Artwork. I really like the artwork. It looks like technological future, the binary code. Yeah, It's good artwork, so I'm going to give the artwork a 9 out of 10 as well. The only thing I'm not a real fan of is the sort of Microsoft Word kind of fonts that we can see at the bottom there. They look very common to me, I think, in terms of its style. Perhaps maybe that's what it was the go-to for the artwork, because it's about technology and it's using technology to create that. I don't know. Production. I'd say the production on the whole was very good. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The only things I spotted I felt could have been changed was the deep low end on the male vocals, which could have been cut out a bit just to brighten them up. Other than that, production was very good, very, very good. And then singing, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. There were times on the tracks where I thought the singing was great. There were so many harmonies coming in, and that was lovely to hear. If that could have happened throughout, then it definitely would have boosted that score a bit more. And I think if both Martin and Greg's worlds could have collided at times and come together, that would have helped maybe tie it and really cement that kind of collaboration that they were working on. So yeah, if there were any pointers for the album taking it forward, it would probably be to do more things together instead of 2 parts and then just adding bits on. I know that takes a lot more time, and time is precious. So if I had to give an overall rating to this album, I'd give it somewhere between a 7 and an 8 out of 10. It's a unique, fun album, very diverse and varied in its styles, and not afraid to go to different places. Yeah, it's not a go-to in terms of anything on this album. That's a good thing. Brilliant. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to comment below about what you enjoyed. Tell me if you didn't enjoy something. Maybe return the favour by listening to my music. Tell me how good or bad my music is as well. Just make sure that we are listening to other artists. In a world where everyone wants to be heard but no one's doing the listening, be the one that does the listening. Goodbye, I guess.
Oh my word.